Hello, people of the internet. My name is Atlas, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different from my normal video because I'm going to be honest, I am a bit too busy to do a video like that at the moment. So instead, I figured I'd just do a pretty casual episode of Minecraft gameplay. This might be like a reoccurring thing. I even got a custom skin here. But, you know, we'll see. I figure this will just be a nice, simple way to talk to you guys, talk about some of the stuff I got planned, even just some like general discussion of like the games I've talked about and stuff like that. So let's see. What do we want to talk about here? I guess while it is true that I don't really have a ton of time to make a full, fully edited and everything video, like I have so far with most of my videos. That isn't to say that I'm not working on any at the moment. I do have a, what I suspect will be a pretty big video coming up regarding a fangan that I have been requested to cover by some of the people in the comments. So I'm actually not very experienced in the fangan scene at the moment, and I won't say what it is because I don't want to be spoiled. But I think it'll be a fun video. It's gonna take some inspiration from another YouTube series, but I'm not too worried about it going a bit too far in inspiration because I highly doubt they'll ever cover what I'm going to be covering. So yeah, that'll be fun, I think. I honestly don't have too much to say about it at the moment. I don't think it'll take me too long once I'm not as busy. I got a pretty good chunk of it done right now, but you know, it's all just a matter of when I have the time to get the rest done. I guess, sorry, you might be able to hear some of my keyboard clicks here. If you don't like that, sorry, but I don't know. Maybe for some people, I'm sure it'll be relaxing or whatever. I kind of like the sound of keyboards myself, so hopefully you guys are like me in that way. In regards to another fangan that I've already covered, Project Eden's Garden, I do still want to make that imitation and echo art analysis video. But that's one that's definitely going to have to wait a while, because that is, I've even talked about in the videos, that's going to be a pretty, intensive one to do. There's a lot of analysis to be done there. And I want to make sure it's, all of a high quality. Especially because, really, honestly, for some of them, you might be able to make a full video on just one piece of imitation art. So fitting all of that into one video is going to be an interesting thing to do. If I do that, who knows? Maybe I'll make a series where I do cover each in a video. But I'm not sure if some of them would fit a whole video. It's all gonna, we'll see. Actually, mentioning that, going back a little bit, talking about that other video that I have planned, along with that video is probably going to be my first membership-only video and video series. It's not going to be as highly produced like my normal videos. It's a bit more similar to this in a way, but it's not quite. I guess, actually, I can go ahead and just say what it is. It's not a huge spoiler. It doesn't give away what fangan it is. But it's basically me going through with a fangan. Adding input, speculation, that type of thing. So you can get my live reaction to things before I go deep analysis mode. I'm sure there will be people that are interested in that. I don't know why I'm crafting with that right there. Boom. There we go. As far as Undertale and Deltarune content goes, I'd like to make a video covering the potential of a Flower King Dark World. I've talked about it more on Twitter, and I think I made a pretty compelling argument. Like, personally, I'd be surprised if there isn't a Flower King Dark World. So I think making a video going over stuff like that would be a good one. I made some videos not too long ago. They were Deltarune videos. They were my reaction and initial analysis of the trailer. And before that, my April Fool's video, which was a Snowy analysis. And honestly, the Snowy analysis, it's like a half joke, basically. I definitely take it more seriously than it actually is. That's part of it. And I make some jokes about Snowy being like the worst person ever, but I actually think there is some merit to some of the stuff I say there. Like, I think the potential of the whole Snowy doesn't run away because of deaths. I think that has some merit to it, given everything we know. It's been a while since I've played Minecraft, so maybe don't expect me to be too good at it, but, you know, I'm not taking it too seriously. If this does become like a reoccurring full series, I think one of the things that I'd like to do, because it's been something I've wanted to do ever since I started playing Minecraft, really, was, like, fix the main end island, like, cure it, make it, like, have foliage, and that type of stuff. I think that's a fun concept. Like, when it comes to potential updates, I've always found that to be a fun idea. So I guess there's that, but obviously that'll be a while, because I don't plan to like do a speed run of something like this if that was not obviously already obvious. Can make a shovel. Gonna get my mandatory one piece of flint. There we go. We're in an ice spikes biome right now, which I've always liked the ice spike biome aesthetically, but I'm pretty sure from like a gameplay perspective, it's maybe one of the less good ones. So that's something. But like I said, this is just gonna be casual. Nothing too serious. I don't know. No, I don't think I can mine that, but it doesn't really matter anyway. Nowadays, if you want emeralds, it's probably your best bet is probably just through trading. So, you know, speaking of Minecraft, obviously not quite the main subject of this channel, considering I haven't actually covered it before. But the new update's looking really cool, I think, with the ghast and stuff like that. It's honestly been a while since I've already said since I've played Minecraft, but it's been a while since I've had like that Minecraft phase that everyone goes to. I feel like it's been a bigger gap here than it has been in other times. It's kind of a interesting cave in there. I have watched quite a bit of Minecraft content though still, and it's one of those games that I feel like I've always come back to. It just is. It's like almost like Pokemon. The main difference is I typically come back to Pokemon when there's a new game. When Minecraft, you know, it's just Minecraft. Let's see, what else do I have to say? As far as UTDR videos go, I think a fun one could be, this is another one I actually have already briefly mentioned, but a video on the Knight again, generally going over multiple candidates for who the Knight is. I think that'd be interesting. At the time I said like a more narrative-based one, but with everything we have now, I'm not sure. Maybe it would just be a more general video going into chapters 3 and 4. Honestly, the chances of us actually knowing who the Knight is by chapter 4 are surprisingly high. I was not quite expecting that, I have to say. But with the whole potential double Dark World thing, I don't know. Here's some fireflies. That's very nice. Let's see if I can break it without... Okay, cool. I can. Good. Wasn't sure if they were gonna drop it since it's like a bush. I guess I could make a boat to try to traverse this a bit faster. But yeah, with the whole double Dark World stuff, it does seem like the Knight could be making their appearance pretty soon. Especially if the trailer music actually was like music from in-game, because as I mentioned in my analysis video, it is pretty much a recreation of that unused opening to Deltarune that it was going to have, which was going to have the Knight at the end of it. Now, obviously, it could be different. We saw the what we can only presume to be like a depiction of the angel at the end of the trailer, so maybe it'll be that instead. But it's hard to say for sure. I will say I think the trailer has sort of made me think that Alvin Knight is who I was. So I'll be perfectly honest, I did somewhat disregard as a candidate to some extent. Not that I didn't think he made absolutely zero sense. Just for me personally, I didn't really see him as much of an option. I think the trailer has helped with that a lot. I still don't think he is going to be the Knight, but like I think the actual probability of him being the Knight is quite a bit higher now. If you don't know, I'm a Vessel Knight believer myself. Have been for a very, very long time. Pre-Oblivion Theory, actually. Assuming that you know what Oblivion Theory is. I'm realizing I have 0 food right now, so that's something. I see some fireflies over there. I'm going to take them. Right now, that's mainly what I'm doing, I guess, is just taking fireflies. I need to stop running. I need to make a boat, actually. I should make a boat. There we go. If I need to get away fast without hunger, I got it right now. These are everywhere, huh? Let's go. You know what? Yeah, let's go out into the seas, see what we can find. Very cool. Oh, this is pretty cool too. I like seeing this in the ice here. I'm going to stay away from it though because I don't want infinite mining fatigue. We'll see if there's anything down here. Actually, no, I won't see that because I'm hungry. I could kill those fish though. Come here, fish. Uh-oh. Let's see, what else do I have to talk about here? Actually, not a fan but the actual a potential video on the original Danganronpa games is something I've thought about, particularly V3, because that is my personal favorite game and probably the one I have the most to say about. I've thought about doing a video on Kaito, who's the guy who my outro comes from, if you didn't know. My personal favorite character from the series. As well as a like theory video regarding the game's ending and certain twists there. Because I think that'd be a pretty novel thing, a Danganronpa V3 theory in big old 2025. But I think it'd be fun to do. And plus, it'd probably be more similar to my fan fiction segment, or at least it'd be in some ways. It'd have similar aspects to my fan fiction segment of my prediction video for Project Eden's Garden, which a lot of people seem to really like, and I'm very glad because I thoroughly enjoyed making that. Right now, I'm sort of just aimlessly going places here. I don't know if this is just a really big ice biome or if I'm going in circles. It's probably the latter. But hey, the world revolving, am I right? When it comes to, I guess, to give you some insight into just who I am and my channel and stuff, I think someone who I honestly didn't even consciously realize I was taking inspiration from, but I think I am quite a bit, is Mossbag, the Hollow Knight YouTuber. I think just the general format and even some of my humor in my videos is sort of Mossbag inspired. Honestly, you can probably see it most in my snowy April Fool's video. I don't know how funny I'd actually consider myself, you know, but I try. Really, I just want the videos to be entertaining, even if they're not particularly funny, you know. I just want them to be, in some way, of value, you know. Oh, another thing I'd love to cover is Scarlet Hollow. I'd love to talk about the future episodes that we're gonna get there. I think there are, yeah, three more episodes, and one is coming out later this year, which is huge. Honestly, that might be something that I play through on my channel. I guess I could maybe do a full playthrough, but I have already seen chapters 1 through 4, and I've explored them fairly thoroughly. There's some content I think I'm missing out from the most recent update. And honestly, in general, I just love to spread the word of Scarlet Hollow more, because it's so underrated, despite Slay the Princess's success. And that's another game, you know, I'd always be up to cover Slay the Princess again. It's just a matter of, with Slay the Princess, I feel like I really have to make something good. Like, I'm pretty proud of my Slay the Princess video that I have done so far. But it's so well done that I don't feel like I could just make something surface level on it, you know? It has to be a bit deeper. With Scarlet Hollow, though, since it is releasing the way it is, I think, you know, predictions of the future episodes and giving my general thoughts on the story, even some, like, more Deltarune-esque theories, or Project Eden's Garden, you know, theory videos, could work. I gotta move. Alright, let's see if we can find some food. I guess if I do a Scarlet Hollow playthrough of the next chapters, might help to sort of know where I am at in my current world state. So I'm done the Stella romance route, and I chose, well, actually, wait, maybe I won't talk about that, because that's some potential spoilers, and I sort of imagine that most people here probably do not know a ton about Scarlet Hollow. Luckily, I didn't say anything too spoilery there. But I'll say this about Scarlet Hollow. You should play it. It is absolutely amazing. Okay? So underrated. Absolutely lives up to the hype of Slay the Princess. Generally has some really scary moments. It is a horror game like Slay the Princess. It's just really good. You should play it. I'm telling you, okay? I might do another. I have thought about for a Scarlet Hollow video is exploring some of that new content from the update and putting that in a video, the chapter 1 stuff at least. And it's sort of like an advertisement for the game. Like, hey, look at all this cool stuff, huh? How else could it go? Oh, you better play to find out. You know, that sort of thing. Now is really the best time to play it that there is. With the new content available. And the new content is really good. The art there is as well. There's just it has a ton of good stuff. The music, oh my gosh, the music is amazing. Uh, there's just so much good about it. I could go on and on, but you know, the point is, play Scarlet Hollow, all right? Let's see, what else do we have to talk about here, huh? I guess, you know, with Undertale's anniversary, 10th anniversary coming up, there's probably going to be some other kind of big stuff going on. I've speculated on Twitter before that it could be the release of the Alarm Clock app, which I think would be pretty cool. But that is pretty speculative. Just seems like, because we know that they are working on something, right? I wouldn't be saying this if we didn't. Because honestly, Deltarune in 2025, you know, I say I think that's enough. In my book, I'd be satisfied. But we do know they are working on something, and so I think that's a pretty cool thing. You know, I'm sure there'll be merch. That's sort of a given. Other things to expect, honestly, I don't know. That's really all I could think about. I've seen a few people speculate about hard mode, and while it's not technically impossible, I don't personally see it as much myself. I feel like hard mode is sort of just not there at this point. I don't know if we will ever get it. It'd be cool if we did, don't get me wrong, but I just don't know. I mean, Toby has basically said no before, so I'd imagine he's being truthful there. Which honestly, hard mode is an interesting thing, because really, story-wise, it's not really any different from the original Undertale. It really is just hard mode. There's of course the question of how they would address the whole being named Frisk thing, but I guess it could always just be that Kara and Frisk have the same name there. Or should I say Frisk and Frisk, I suppose. It'd be cool if there was something more to it, though. I'm pretty sure there are several AUs already that sort of go off the idea of an expanded hard mode. So, you know, maybe I'll do one of my own someday. As far as Undertale videos instead of Deltarune videos at some point, I'm not sure how much I have to say in that regard. I think Undertale's fairly well talked about. I guess just a general video on like what Undertale has done for me personally. Talking about that could be good. I could definitely see myself doing something like that. Another fun idea, which is an extremely niche thing that I have no idea if people would be interested in like watching, would be a Where the Wild Things Are video, because it sort of has like a weird connection to me. It's had one throughout my life and my childhood. It holds some pretty sentimental value there. So I think talking about that could be fun. I've also considered like talking about doing something with my AUs on the channel, because I do have quite a few of those. I'm just not entirely sure what it would be yet, you know. Music-wise, I can play the piano I can kinda play the piano. So, maybe expect something like that at some point. You know, at one point I tried to record something for the channel here, but I just wasn't satisfied with it, so who knows. Otherwise, I have like zero experience in like FL Studio. So unfortunately, the idea of me making like themes for my AUs isn't like, it'd be something that would happen pretty far off at this point. Unfortunately, but who knows, maybe I could get some stuff commissioned. That'd be cool. Support some artists. I've been posting about a new Undertale AU recently on Twitter and Blue Sky. My AU Terraphobia, which is like a horror-based AU. Because I'm actually a very big fan of horror, I've realized over the years. At one point I thought I didn't like it, and then I guess I was totally wrong. Because a very large amount of the stuff that I am interested is horror. So, it'll be fun to explore that in the context of Undertale. And I think I have some pretty interesting ideas there. I feel like Undertale is almost kind of hard to make scary, because we're all just so attached to these characters, and we know them, that being scared of them isn't like in our instincts, But I think I have some interesting ways of approaching it and making it work. We'll have to see, though, obviously. Even if it isn't scary, hopefully it'll just be a good story. It is one that I'd really like to explore more, because I've made a lot of like sprites for general AUs and stuff like that I haven't really touched much after. But for Terraphobia, that's one I'd actually like to make something out of. Even a full sprite comic I think would be super cool, and honestly potentially achievable. I don't know, hard to say, but yeah. I mean, I haven't actually done a full sprite comic, full sprite comic series before, I should say. I've done sprite comics, posted them online. I guess I could upload some of them on here, but I don't know. I'd probably have to find some people to do it with me, because I don't know. I think I have some alright voices for some of the characters, but some of them you probably do not want to hear. Or at the very least, they probably are not good enough for a full dub, They'd be fine in a playthrough where I'm just doing silly voices for the characters. But in a dub where the whole point is it's me talking as the characters, I don't know. I mean, maybe it'd be better since it would be my own comics. But still. Funnily enough, I've thought about this idea for just a general comic, not even Undertale or anything related, that I could post on here. So I don't know, maybe I'll do that. That'd be fun. It's a pretty silly one, not really serious or anything like that. Just basically a joke I made up one night, and I was like, hey, that would work as a comic. And so, it's something I could potentially do. New egg. I do like the new mob variants. I think they're cool. Kind of wish the sheep had a proper one, or at least a proper new not retexture, but remodel, like the other mobs have gotten. Not even necessarily. It doesn't even necessarily have to be a big one. Just a few changes I think could work. I do understand their hesitance with that, though. Obviously, a lot of people aren't going to like that. The stuff is changing, really, in general. Which, I mean, obviously, everyone's open to their own opinions. But honestly, these updates recently have been quite good, in my opinion. Other potential ideas. I've talked about doing some DDLC content before, and I definitely could. It's not something I'd be against. I think in particular, I feel like DDLC Plus got overlooked a lot. I feel like it came and went, and I just don't get it, because it's a really good game with some really interesting stuff, and I feel like people don't talk about it as much as they should. Other stuff I could do stuff on, Fiona and Cake, the next season when it comes out. I might cover it some. I don't know. It really depends on what is in it. If there is stuff for me to cover. What else is there? If there's ever a new season of Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, I'd love to cover that. yeah, I guess for the time being, that might be all I have to say. Might end this off with a nice night view of the mountains here, with some of the fireflies I've gathered. So yeah, thank you all for watching. I think this has been a fun experience, you know. Hopefully I actually end up uploading it. You know, it'll depend on the time, and if it's actually any good, I'm probably going to go back and rewatch it. And who knows, maybe we'll make this a regular thing. Ignore the forest fire in the background. We're just going to, you know, let's look over here. And so I guess that's all for now. Thank you so much for watching. I think I already said that, but, you know, hey, double thanks. Don't forget to drink water, remember to floss, and don't forget, the impossible is possible. All you gotta do is make it so. Good night.